Hello, Scorpio. I'm Adriana. I'm a soul communicator and mentor today with an intuitive reading for you for your journey and path at this point. We're going to do some communicating with your soul and asking what the lesson is right now, what's going on in your path, and what is the lesson. I'll be doing about a 10-ish minute reading here and then an extended if you want to go even deeper into the message and meaning behind the information that comes out. I'm going to get a couple oracle cards to just start with. Okay. We've got kindness, the fruit bat, also called the flying fox. And spoiler, if you are not okay with spiders, look away for a little bit. We have the tarantula connections. So I'll kind of hide her like this. So we're looking right off the bat at being kind to yourself, understanding the inner web between you and others. And the way to navigate that web is always through kindness, but the kindness has to start with the self. I want to be very clear about this because kindness does not mean just being nice. Kindness does not mean getting along and suppressing what you're actually feeling because you're going to be kind and nice. It means being kind to yourself first, being easier on yourself. And from that place of kindness, then exploring the connections. Okay, let's look at that. Let's look at where you are on your path right now. Okay, I've got middle 4 going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at where you are in your path, and then we're going to ask your soul to show us what trajectory it's got you on right now and what you're supposed to learn from all of this. Interesting. We've got Prince of Swords, 7 of Wands, High Priest or Hierophant, and then the 3 of Swords. Okay. The High Priest is asking you why you are guarding so much the patterns of self-betrayal. And again, ways that you're not kind to yourself, ways that you're not true to yourself. Why are you guarding that and keeping it so close to you? Hierophant is really, or the High Priest is really asking you to move onward in a direction that is more aligned with your inner and outer world, your inner feeling, and then the outer world and how that outer world interacts with that inner feeling. So what I'm feeling right now is there is a disconnect. The 3 of Swords here, we've got a disconnect between the way you're feeling and the way you're navigating your outside world. Okay, so if you're feeling like there's a pull back, you're pulling inside, there's something in the outside world that's asking you to step forward. It's like he's putting his arm forward and you're not wanting to step forward. You're wanting to pull back inside. So your energy is going like this, but the outside world is pulling you towards it and you're retreating. And so the Hierophant is asking, why are you holding on so strongly in that pattern of retreat? Why are you holding on so strongly to this protective place where the trick about being protected, Scorpio, feeling protected and feeling protective of yourself is that all you're doing is covering up a vulnerability. It doesn't ever allow you to feel safe for having that vulnerability covered because that vulnerability is always there, right? So what this means is really allowing yourself to go deeper into that place that you are trying to protect and allow yourself to really meet yourself at that place, totally raw, totally without any judgments or ideas of what it should be, just what it is. Meet it there. And then see what that space is asking you to do, because it's going to ask you to come out into the world to express. Our Prince of Swords, using his words, using his truth to ride away. It's kind of like the Hierophant says, onward to the Prince of Swords. Get it out. Say what you need to say. Express what you need to express. And stop the guarding. Stop guarding. Because again, when you're protecting something that's weak, when you're covering it up, all you're doing is covering it up. You're not healing the weak part, or you're not healing the vulnerability. You're not addressing it. You're just putting layers and layers and layers of things on top of it. kind of like when you're making a paper mache mask, the space underneath it is very hollow. But when you keep putting in more layers, you're building it up and building it up, making it look strong. But what it's covering up is something that's just, I don't want to say it's empty, but I'm hoping this is making sense. All right. It would be like a pearl, an oyster trying to build a pearl, but on the inside, he leaves a bunch of space so that the pearl can't take any weight and the thing just collapses. So what I'm saying is by protecting it, you're actually making it weaker. Okay, so let's look at, so that's where you are right now. Let's look at where your soul trajectory is, meaning what your soul, the path your soul is wanting you to follow right now. Okay, I've got a middle 3. Okay, really interesting. They're talking through your opposite. You've got Queen of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Death card. Queen of Pentacles is Taurus, Death card is Scorpio. And what's interesting is we had the Hierophant, which is Taurus. And I was just reading about this yesterday. If you are a Scorpio sun sign, and I know this reading is for moon and rising as well, but if you're a Scorpio sun, you have a connection with your opposite, the Taurus energy. And in order to fully inhabit the space of your Scorpio energy, you have to understand certain spiritual lessons about Taurus first. So that Taurus energy is asking you to understand what it means to feel safe and comfortable on the earth, in the material world. So it's kind of like you're starting from that place, and then the Fool brings you on this journey into what you're comfortable with, the Scorpio, the Death. So, but, going beyond just those superficial symbolisms there, this is about taking a new journey into a different kind of transformation. So if you're feeling like you're just wanting to hold on to that vulnerability and cover it up and put more layers on top of it, your soul is asking you to step out. Taurus also loves to be comfortable, doesn't like to be uncomfortable. And what they're saying is you need to walk away from that shadow side of the opposite Taurus that just wants to stay stagnant and comfortable. Let go and get into this Scorpio energy, get into this transformational energy. I think this is a big message. Let go. Just let go of all of what you're holding. That's a very Taurus thing. Let me hold. Let go of what you're holding on to, because it's time to just let go. See what happens. There's a feeling of exploration and of journeying with these two cards, because the Fool doesn't really know what he's going to encounter. He doesn't even know, or he or she is about to fall off this cliff, has no idea. All he knows, or she, is that this has been a divine push. Something outside of you has said, yep, time to go, time to try this. Don't know what's at the bottom. Likewise, we don't know what she's cooking in her cauldron, and we also don't know what's going to come out. So there's a big spirit of openness, this Hierophant with that Queen of Pentacles saying, onward, away from the comfort zone, away from the stuckness of trying to hold on to that place, away from that. You'll also find, this is really interesting, that your earth sign is Taurus if you're a Scorpio sun, which means that your inner child identifies more with the Taurus energy, the holding, the kind of keeping yourself in a comfortable space, the stubbornness. So there's the healing of that going on as well, the healing of the inner child. So I'm thinking, Scorpio, that this is a good place to start. I'm going to continue to pull some cards for you and create an extended reading. The link is below in the description. But wish you well on your journey, and I'll see you next time.